Don't get me started. They'll take us off the air.
Whew, man. Let's move on. Keith Thorning, he says, hey guys, big love from the UK. This is kind of a long question, so bear with me. He says, quick question, or maybe something you can cover. Most B-boys in the UK discovered world-class Wrecking Crew via the Street Sounds Electro compilations. Notably, World Class on Electro 9 and Cabbage Patch on Electro 16, and Juice and Surgery on the New York versus LA Beats compilation. Did those licensing agreements make you much money, as they were a major influence on the early UK scene? We grew up on these songs and they are still loved by many aging B-boys to this day.
All stolen.
Ooh, break it down.
All stolen. Don McMillan, I've never done a deal. I own all the masters for Crew Cut and World Class Record Crew. I've never done a deal with Street Sounds. Never. Okay. I did one deal through JDC for a Street Sounds project, I think years ago. I've never got a royalty check yet. I ain't got a publishing check yet. I ain't seen nothing yet. Okay. And how he got World Class or something else you mentioned that was on my CBS album had to be the Straight Theft, because
Cabbage Patch, Juice and Surgery on the New York versus LA compilation.
Those are mine. Those are all mine, directly mine. You'd have to go through CBS to get. I think it's World Class he mentioned also. I'm not World Class, but something else he mentioned.
World Class, Electro 9. Cabbage Patch, Electro 16, Juice and Surgery. That's it. Yeah.
Those are all mine. Yeah. Don McMillan did some bullshit back in the day, and we all trying to get his ass right now. Thank you for the support, though. I appreciate it, though. Nah, I ain't even wow. Shit yet. That's how cold the game is, man.
Wow, bro. So you didn't even know they were bumping your. Did you have a feeling you had a UK audience back then?
Yes, because back then we played Wembley Stadium one time back in '85, I think it was, with Sir Mix-a-Lot, Africa Bambaataa, and Grandmaster Flash and Furious 5. And we was rocking. I mean, it was a big show, and so yeah, we definitely knew we had a following. But as far as any overseas royalties monies, no, I have yet to see them. In fact, I got a publishing manager right now trying to corral all my money together right now. That's no bullshit.
All right, man. Next question, Yo Lonzo, do you have any Ollie and Jerry stories? Any interaction, cross path shows, contribution to West Coast hip hop?
Ollie and Jerry. Why do I know?
I remember them from the Breaking movies. They had a few songs in the Breaking soundtrack. I'll look it up while you're here. Let's see. I know somebody help us out in the chat, because I know they were huge in that Breaking.
Oh no, you know anything about Ollie and Jerry? Dre. You know anything about Ollie and Jerry? Ollie and Jerry.
Let's see. Yeah, there's no stopping us. Ain't no stopping us. No stopping. No one does it better.
We wouldn't play that even after dark.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Yeah, that's probably the only song I know. It was probably the only one from Breaking. All right, nope. So no Ollie and Jerry stories. There you go.
Nope.
Sorry, guys. They can't all be winners. Let's see. Yo, Lonzo and Dusty, isn't Eazy E the first rapper to have the first CD interactive video game? Was Arabian Prince ever part of that due to his technological background?
I'm not familiar with the CD.
Yeah, never heard of that.
I never heard it either.
Okay.
Not familiar with
yeah,
that.
Give us some more info if you know about it in the chat. Give us some more info.
Let me know.
Yeah, for real. D Minor says, did you come across Leon Silvers and Solar Records?
Not directly, but indirectly, yes. My partner who worked, if you look at my record crew records, you'll see the name William Zimmerman. He was my engineer and producer of quite a few of my stuff, and CMW. He was the right-hand man for Leon Silvers. I met him briefly at a convention one time. No stories, though.
You know, you've mentioned these names in the past, but we haven't really gone deep into them. Can you explain who Calvin and Cletus were?
Woo, Calvin and Cletus Anderson. These were two of the most influential brothers that were not actually rappers at the time. Cletus owned the VIP record chain, and he was a powerful retailer here in the 70s and 80s. I mean, VIP Records was giving everybody the blues. In fact, Cletus even told me I interviewed him. He told me that one time he got so powerful when he would order his records from certain distributors, they would just pull up a semi truck and trailer, just unhook it and leave it there so they can unload it. It would take that long to unload the records. Kelvin, his brother, they're all from Mississippi. Kelvin, you ever watch American Gangster with Denzel Washington?
One of my favorite gangster movies of all time.
Cletus was Bumpy Johnson, not Bumpy Johnson. Was it Bumpy Johnson?
Bumpy or Nick? So it was probably Bumpy Johnson, the older one, the one that he idolized.
No, the one that Denzel Washington played.
Oh, Denzel played the guy from North Carolina. Keep going though.
He played him. Okay, he brought all the family down from Mississippi to the record stores. Okay, he brought
Frank something.
Frank Lucas.
Frank Lucas. There we go.
Frank Lucas. Cletus was Frank Lucas. Okay, Cletus was doing so good down here in L.A. He sent for all his brothers from down south to come to California and open up record stores. So Kelvin and his other younger brother opened up a record store. I mean, it got to the point where it was like it was franchising VIP record stores. It was so powerful, especially with the record industries. They would just franchise. And Kelvin opened up VIP Long Beach. That's the one that Snoop, Warren G,
Anthony on Top and the Roof,
and Nate Dogg. Yeah, right. They all came out of there, and between Kelvin, Lonzo, Adrian Gregory, you got the Godfathers or the people that provide the early platform, Tupac, Snoop, and Dre. Okay, that's Kelvin he's from the retail standpoint. Cletus, Cletus and Kelvin were my clients when I worked at Record Shack. So one day I'm selling records on the phone to these guys, and this is why my legacy was so interesting, because when I started bootlegging, my last job was a salesman for a record distributor. Kelvin and Cletus were my clients. I left the record company, got fired from that, started making my bootlegs shortly after that, and made them clients again for my own company. So as I'm selling, me and Unknown, we both competing for records to sell to the various stores. Cletus and Kelvin buying from us. Now, Cletus got tentacles up north, Camelot, Associated Records, Schwartz Brothers, all the major independents. Cletus know everybody because he's been buying from everybody. So now he's selling to everybody. So I would drop off, 1,000, 1,200 CD, 12 inches to Cletus, and get a big old knot of money, a knot full of money, and go to the Eve After Dark. Do the same thing for Kelvin. Then start doing Steve Yano. So it just was a interesting time. And I was telling Unknown earlier how I missed the physical product, because you can't make you can't really sell something that it's not tangible. And that's what made our time a lot different for us. Cletus, like I said, he was one of my main customers. It wouldn't be shit for Cletus to give me a check for $4,000 or give me cash for $4,000. It wouldn't be shit on a Friday afternoon. I'm running down there to drop off his order so he can ship it off, before he can meet UPS. Meantime, I got to go back to the club and get set up for the club. It made the club almost obsolete sometimes. It made the club almost obsolete. It just almost made the club obsolete, and it was just a time. Cletus would hire us to do scratches. Cletus has a song called Killer Dayton's on his label. I think his label Saturn Records. Dre did the scratching for Cletus for that record, Killer Dayton's. Cletus was a gambler. He didn't mind spending money. So, and he would invest in his own stuff. He told me I never got paid for a lot of stuff he did, but because again, he wasn't looking at it from a publishing standpoint. He was looking at it from a retail standpoint. So he didn't take care of the business that he should have. And I think California Wanna Party? That's his shit. Okay. I think that came from one of his projects. So it's all, it's all connected, Doc. It's all
Man.
connected.